Welcome to another week of us attempting to renovate our original 1970s kitchen. In the last video, I quit painting the cabinets because it was a disaster. If you haven't caught up to all of the weeks, I'll leave them down below. Nothing's easy with this kitchen, nothing is easy. So go ahead and binge watch those episodes, come back to this one or watch this one, go do those. Before we get started with the video, please give it a like and a comment, please. We really need it, especially this week. The kitchen cabinets is like the most important thing, and I've been stressing out about it, making sure that I'm doing all the steps right to not screw them up. What happens? I mess up the first 3 doors. So that's just great. That's just peachy, amazing. I love that for me. Elvis right now is trying to set up the airless spray gun that we have, because that one you can adjust the pressure of how things come out of the machine. The primer's way too thin. The spray gun that I have is just putting way too much out. So I think Elvis is trying to save the day because I'm pretty frustrated right now. Super duper frustrated. I have all of the doors here. I spent like the past 2 days prepping these doors for spray painting them, and it's just not going good. So let's see what Elvis comes up with, how he helps me. But right now, it's not looking too good. Elvis took out the airless spray gun, and we've never used this thing before. So we're trying to figure it out. Well, Elvis is trying to figure it out. Right now, he's trying to prime. What are you trying to do? Prime the line?
I primed it, and now I'm trying to get the paint out.
Whoa, that spat out. Dude, that thing has so much pressure that it completely just right over here took all the debris. Whoa. So this happened. We were trying to clean out the machine, and as Elvis is taking out the hose from the paint can, it basically went all over him and the spray machine. It created such a mess. At this point, we couldn't believe what was happening. We were just like laughing through the pain, trying to quickly clean up the mess, salvage the paint that was left, because this machine wasted so much product. I wanted to cry because this stuff was expensive. Work as fast as we can, clean the machine, and never do this again. I was so discouraged this day because I prepped for 2 days these doors to spray paint them. I set up a whole tent and spray paint machine that we're trying to attempt to use, and although it's a good machine, it's just not worth the hassle for painting cabinet doors. If you are painting a shed, if you're painting your house, if you're painting something huge, large, and in charge, do it up. It's awesome. It's great. But to dirty it up, the line alone, cleaning this thing, and then we dirtied the outside of it, it was just a mess. It was bad. It was really bad. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. As you can see behind me, Elvis saved the day. He got the doors primed. Like, I'm so frustrated that I don't even know where to begin talking. I didn't even tell you to the extent of the mess that the first round of attempting to prime the doors, how that went. When I said that I was panic cleaning, I was panic cleaning because you know that Ziploc bag that I put inside of the container to avoid a mess and have an easy cleanup? That bag broke inside. So not only did I have to pull out the bag and have that drippage everywhere, but I also had to dump out the container back into the bucket because things were drying so fast. That shellac primer was really hard to work with, especially outside in the elements, which is hot and humid here where we live. Next, I did not account for how much product this spray machine and that method was going to waste. On an average, you waste 3 times more product using a spray gun to paint. I didn't know that. I should have known that. it makes sense because when you're spraying, there's so much product being wasted and overspray and going over areas. The tent got a lot of paint inside of it. We ran out of the shellac primer really fast. I think we didn't even make it half. I think we got half of the doors done. And then thankfully I had that Sherwin-Williams bonding primer right here that I purchased for the cabinets originally. But then I changed my mind and I got the shellac based primer. So we basically ended up using both of the primers. So half of the doors have this primer, then the other half of the doors have this primer. Like we had to just use what we have. We were not in a position to go to the store and go buy more. And that is such an expensive primer. So we got it done, we pushed through. The doors are dry now. I'm really heavily contemplating, after doing all of this work to prep the doors for spray painting, I'm contemplating not painting on the final color with the spray gun. One, it was so messy to clean the spray gun. The airless spray gun was really hard to clean and it was messy. It wastes so much product. I don't think I have enough to do 2 full coats of it spray painted on. I have 1.5 gallons left. The Lazy Susan was hanging in the garage door and I accidentally just opened the garage door and it fell, and I need to fix that. My mood is just not there, as you can tell. I'm really frustrated. I don't know what to do. So frustrated, but the doors are primed on both sides. Look really good. That's what they look like. Time to sand and paint. I have a 150 grit sanding block. This is very fine. I'm gonna try that, and then I also have the rest of those steel wool pads. I really like the way this sanded the sanding sealer. It made the door really shiny and smooth. So I'm gonna try both of them and see which ones work out the best. But yeah, it rained over the past couple days, so there's a little bit of water in here. I'm on the last door, surprisingly. I've really enjoyed this process. It's really relaxing back here. The birds, the sounds of nature, the slight breeze, the moody weather. I have a good feeling about this. I can definitely tell as I'm lightly sanding which is the shellac based primer and which is the Sherwin-Williams bonding primer. And definitely there's a major difference. The shellac based primer feels a lot more like durable and like hard than the Sherwin-Williams, but they're both sanding pretty nicely. After this, I'm gonna go ahead. I've decided I'm gonna hand paint it, at least the first coat, and see how that goes. I'm gonna move the tent to the opening of the door so I can sit in here, paint, and then hang the doors to dry. I moved the tent literally up to the door. So much work has led up to this moment and I hope it goes good. I'm outside, it's humid, it's probably not the best conditions to be doing this, but where else am I gonna paint? You can tell I'm like not happy right now. This is like one of the most important parts of this whole kitchen, so I want to make sure these are done good, but I'm just gonna go for it. Well, just started to rain. I don't know if I should continue to paint. How many doors did I get so far? 3, 6. I got 13 doors the back side. So the first 2 doors I tested painting. I tested different methods to paint it. Ultimately, I cannot paint both sides at the same time. So I'm just gonna go the long, slow route, which is paint each side, but we're gonna get it done. If I keep going, it's gonna be done eventually. Positive thoughts. I think I'm just gonna keep going. If it starts getting crazy, I'll call it quits, but we gotta push through. We got 28 doors to do, the fronts, 28 doors to do the backs, 28 doors to do the back again, and the front again, so I gotta push through. But my little station here is working out just fine. The paint is going on beautiful. No complaints there. No complaints there. So let's keep going. that took a lot longer, but it was way less stressful than that whole show that we had going on with the primer. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what I'm trying to remind myself, to be patient and take my time. I've made it this far. I've done all this work, and I cannot let myself get impatient and just ruin my hard work. Basically, all week, I'm gonna be doing cabinets. Cabinet doors. Here are the doors, all hung up. All the backs are painted. And then I have some more over here. Like I said, it's 28 doors. I had to make sure I had enough space to hang them. Now this is a little suspect, but this like clothing line rack thing has been wobbling. So hopefully I don't come in here tomorrow and all of these doors are on the floor, because I will literally cry. All right, take 3, literally. First time I was recording, I didn't have the microphone plugged in. The second time I was recording, I didn't hit the record button. It's recording. So a lot of videos ago, we had a hole in the wall, which I told you that was gonna be a problem for another day. Well, today's the day that it was Elvis's problem to deal with. So the hole was from removing the hood vent in the kitchen that was above the stove, right? So Elvis fixed the hole on the inside. He did insulation, we did the drywall, we covered all of that up.
OSB, I think it was the board, the OSB board on the inside.
Today he had to do the brick because our house is brick. He needed to fix it where you couldn't even tell there was a hole there ever. First of all, let's do a little game. Let's do a little, before I tell you what he did, before he tells you what he did, because I have no idea what you did. I'm gonna put a clip over our faces right now. And you tell me if you can see where Elvis replaced the brick. Where's the new brick?
Just wait till it dries. They'll really be able to have a trouble.
Okay. So yeah, you tell me really quickly before I tell you where it is, if you can tell where Elvis installed the new brick, because he did such a good job, you can't even tell.
I ended up, the hood vent, when we took the hood vent out originally, they cut 3 bricks out into pieces, so they left like halves the bricks in there. So I had to remove those halves out. So I had 3 whole bricks. I prefer to do it that way. Maybe some people use half bricks, but I wanted to do 3 whole bricks. I felt like that would be easy and it would probably look the best. So getting the bricks out was very difficult. I tried oscillating tools, all kinds of crud, saws. Didn't want to mess up the other brick. I ended up cracking one of the bricks, getting the other 3 out. The other hard part, after you finally get them out, the secret, honestly, I came up with was using a drill bit. So drilling through the mortar was the secret. Drilling through the mortar in different places and then kind of chipping it out, and it would just pop right out. Going around was the best thing you could do. And then after that, the other hard part, the hardest part, was tracking down bricks that look similar to our old 1970s home, because they're old-fashioned bricks. They're, I guess, old style, old-fashioned. There's a couple different names for them, but basically old-fashioned bricks. You have to buy them in a whole pallet. Couldn't find none. Nowhere within 100 miles had them. So I ended up matching so you can kind of hide it. I got 2 different kinds of bricks though. One was a darker one, one's a lighter one. And then it was putting them in place. A learning lesson. It didn't take me that long. It took me about maybe an hour and a half.
I will say, Elvis is not on camera as much, but he's the one doing all the hard stuff that you don't see on camera, like fixing 3 bricks in the outside of the house, plumbing, electrical, all of that. So he's behind the scenes working hard while I'm doing the easier stuff.
Not working too hard, trust me, Don. I'm working too hard. I work slow. Slow and steady wins the race for me, okay? I'm not this fast, do it all real quick. Slow and steady. So, content's coming out slow. It's my fault.
No, you're doing a good job. I mean, we're doing a good job. Okay, so Elvis has taken 5 days to install this kitchen base.
Well, nothing's easy about this stuff.
The sink, your shirt is so wet. Is that sweat?
That's sweat.
Oh, that's gross.
It might be a little bit of water too. I'll spray the hose out there. I don't know. I'm wet from sweat though.
Okay, so the kitchen sink, that's been so fun to install. Elvis has been here. As you can see, there's shims down there. He cut out the pipes. Oh, he had to go into the crawl space and actually bring up the pipes and screw them a little bit higher because they were hitting the base. Yeah.
This pipe was too low. I had to raise it a little bit with Hillary's help.
So he had to go under the crawl space, push it up while I screwed it into the wall higher. Just like little things like that.
Not including I had to cut a hole in our fresh drywall and then repatch the drywall that we did.
So this week is so fun. Like painting cabinets, like it's just, I keep saying that's the last hard thing that we're gonna do, and then the next thing comes up and then it's just as hard, if not hard.
And then so the other thing, right, this stuff you think it's going to be fairly easy, and then you get in there and you realize like you didn't fully think through some of the stuff in here. For example, like one side of the room being higher than the other side. I wasn't thinking about that. I mean, there's so many things you got to worry about to make sure your countertop gets perfect and all these are lined up perfectly. You just don't think it's going to be that difficult, right? So, yeah, it's learning, but we're getting close. And then the other thing, you got to secure the freaking Lazy Susan because it's not up against the wall. You got to secure it to the floor like a freaking island. I didn't think about that until I'm like installing. I'm like, wait a second. So, yeah, DIY. It's going to be easy, bro.
I've gotten the kitchen cabinets, the fronts. I've gotten the fronts and the backs painted and the second coat on the back. But that's another thing. I'm over there out there in this humid heat. It's been raining and super hot. And rolling and painting the doors has taken longer, obviously, than spray painting them. So that's another like hurdle that I'm coming across because my whole plan was to spray paint them and be done. We split and conquered this week. The extra shelves came in that the company sent. It was my mistake. I called them telling them that the corner units were missing the shelves, but they were actually at the top. They came in even though I called them to cancel it. So I was like, oh, so I have extra shelves, right? I went to, I think they don't fit. You can't put 2 shelves in there.
Huh?
You can't put 2 shelves in there. There's literally no way. I tried to put that in there and it just doesn't do it.
Hillary, you got to put that one back at the bottom again.
What do you mean?
You got to slide that.
I tried it.
You did not.
I tried in every way.
But the way that you're supposed to do it.
No.
You got to slide this back at the bottom where it was originally.
Well, can you do it for me? Because
I'll
I would like to use. I would
2
like
seconds.
to use them, but I just.
See, don't say this stuff to me.
All right, let's see if Elvis can get 2 shelves in there for me. Because you know, if I can get 2 shelves, I have them. Might as well do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't try this thing.
No, I'm just so tired. Painting
you know
these
what?
kitchen cabinets is taking me out. So I'm like wiped out, I'm beat. I need a break. But it's like also we're so far along now that it's like we gotta go, we gotta sprint or it's never gonna be done. I can't wait to just be done. There's always ups and downs to whatever you do. Is it gonna fit?
Yeah, it already did.
Wow.
You want it that high, you want it lower?
That's good. For now, I don't know what I'm gonna put in there, but dang, okay. Ugh.
Bro, I've been working hard on
that is so wet.
Listen to me.
I literally just showered too. No, I was sweating so bad because it was so hot and humid. So as soon as I got done painting the coat on the back of the doors today, I went to go shower. So I'm clean, you're dirty.
All right.
Let me see. Wow, you didn't even take the shelf sticker out. All right, put the other shelf.
You know, we were supposed to get one.
I know, I saw that video you sent me.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. There's no going back.
Oh, easy for you to say, I gotta build this.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when you get there. That's how we've been doing the kitchen, so let's just not stress out about it.
We should just get a 9-inch and we can literally stick it right there.
No. I just want to sit at the beach
What the frick
with
is
a nice cold drink,
nice cold brewski.
hearing the waves crash on the sand,
Oh my gosh, you sound like a freaking...
watching the birds fly.
Okay, you sound like freaking Titanic over here. It's not even about
We
health.
also, before I paint these cabinets, we need to put the crown molding on top.
Bro, can you not talk to me about more work? I'm worked out, bro.
Backsplash, the floor, the lighting.
This work is not easy.
We really only have like 4 more things to do, but those 4 more things involve like 10 more steps within those 4. Anyways, what are you guys doing right now while you're watching this video? Are you getting ready for work? Are you driving home from work? Are you eating your lunch, eating dinner?
What are you doing when you watch us suffer? What is it? When you're watching us suffer, and
I'm not gonna lie, I'm done for today.
dude, do we motivate y'all to want to do this stuff, or do we deter you? Are we motivating you to do this stuff to your house?
Seriously, I never want to come across like I'm complaining in these videos because I understand how lucky we are to be able to be in a position to do this, but also like it's hard. Like it's hard. Like it's hard work, and we're doing it. So I mean, we're complaining, but we're doing it. So
100% we are blessed and to be able to do this, but I will say, and this is, when I'm complaining, it's not a complaining because I'm not happy. I'm complaining simply because this stuff, I respect the people that do it.
Oh my gosh.
I have an appreciation for contractors.
Plumbers, electricians.
I have so much respect for them because this works so hard. So if you're one of those people that does this for a living, I appreciate you and I applaud you. Do these look crooked or is it me? No, those are straight. I'm just tripping right now.
All right, before we cut the video off for the week, let me give you a recap. There was a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes, basically, that we didn't film because we're just trying to get this kitchen done. All right, Elvis installed the Lazy Susan, that 9-inch cabinet, the sink, the 18-inch, and he did all the shims. I don't know if you can see at the bottom. There's a lot of shins because one side of the room was lower than the other, so he had to make sure that they were leveled. And then he did the corner right over here. We're basically wasting that corner. That's the only way we can make the layout work where it was functional. He did this right over here, the corner piece. Dun, 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 where the dishwasher is gonna like basically be there. The stove is gonna go right here. He mounted all of the bottom cabinets, so now officially all of the cabinets are fully installed. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, especially by us. Here's basically where we're at. We have the Peninsula installed and all of the kitchen cabinets. Now I'm gonna take you outside so we can talk about the kitchen cabinets I've been painting all week. I couldn't sleep last night. My wrists right here are on fire. They hurt so bad because of these cabinets. I've spent all week long and I'm not even done. This video is like me sounding so negative, but it's definitely not been a fun week. This motion, back and forth on 28 doors for 5 days straight. It gets your hands pretty sore, and my wrists, they were hurting so bad. I had to wake up in the middle of the night and like roll on like the icy hot stuff to be able to go back to sleep. I actually have to put on another layer today, but we're not gonna film that. I haven't been filming the layers. So now all of the doors except little Susan over here have 2 coats of the color, 1 coat of the primer. Thinking that a 3rd coat is definitely needed. They're looking really, really good. The sanding sealer did amazing hiding the wood grain. I definitely think a 3rd coat would be beneficial. Just lightly sand all of the doors, get everything super smooth, and then do that 1 last coat of paint. My hands hurt so bad. And then obviously doing the clear polyacrylic on top. That's gonna be like the final touch. They look good. I love the color. I don't know, you can't really tell the color really much on camera, but I have done 2 coats on the front and the backs, and I'm not even to the new can of paint that I had 1.5 gallons left of the paint. Half of a gallon took care of these doors, the back and the front. So that just goes to show you how much primer we wasted with that spray gun. We used 2 gallons. That's how much it was wasted. I think like if you're spraying a big furniture piece or something like that, like I did with that cabinet, it is worth it. But like when you're doing little doors and you're doing 1 by 1, it just wastes so much product. I'm glad though that the doors are really close to being done. I really put my blood, sweat, and tears out here trying to paint these doors. But after this is done, all I have to worry about is the inside, the base, the fronts, the frames, and then the cabinets will be fully done. So I'm excited. I'm glad to put that behind me because that was not fun. I had to come in here because I was just editing that clip and it dawned on me how badly I messed up. Oh my gosh. So the kitchen island is not gonna be the same color as the cabinets. And I freaking painted the doors for the island that color of the kitchen cabinets. I did all that work for nothing. So all 8 of those doors are completely the wrong color. I painted them the wrong color. Oh my God. Do I regret not buying painted cabinets? There's pros and cons. Obviously with the pro is they're already painted, you just install them and move on with your life. But the cons, you really can't pick a custom color because they only come in a certain amount of colors. Also, if they get dinged up or you need to touch them up, like you don't have the paint to do so. I don't know. I feel like once I put this behind me, I will like appreciate it and like say it's worth it. But right now, it was a lot of work. The Lazy Susan I'm gonna be doing once all of these are out of here because it's so big, I don't have room for it, and I wanna make sure that I can paint all sides and it doesn't get messed up. In the meantime, If you haven't caught up to all of our videos, go ahead and check them out. Again, please, before you leave a comment and a like, and I will see you on the next one. We're almost done with this kitchen. We're almost done.